My neighbor dropped $4 grand on a single repair for his used BMW X5 last spring. That same month, I handed a customer the keys to a luxury SUV I'd bought for less than that repair bill, and 2 years later, he spent almost nothing on it. Here's the secret. The badge snobs never figured out. 3 luxury SUVs quietly share their guts with the most bulletproof Toyotas and Hondas ever built. The salesman won't tell you. I will. Let's count them down. 24 years under the hood teaches you one thing above all else. The word luxury on a tailgate is usually a warning label. It means air suspension that fails at 90,000 miles, turbochargers that grenade, and electronics that cost more to fix than the car is worth. That's the reputation, and for most German luxury SUVs, it's completely earned. But there are 3 exceptions sitting on used lots right now that break every one of those rules. They ride like a luxury car, they've got the leather and the badge, and underneath they're just Toyotas and Hondas in a nicer suit. I'm going deepest on number 1, because that's the one I'd buy tomorrow with my own money and drive for the next 15 years. Let's get into it. Number 3, Acura MDX. The Acura MDX is the SUV I recommend to people who want 3 rows, a premium badge, and absolutely refuse to deal with repair drama. And right now you can get into a clean one for well under 15 grand. Let me tell you about a customer from about a year and a half ago. Nurse, 2 teenagers, driving a tired minivan that was nickel and diming her to death. She came in, convinced she needed to buy new because she couldn't afford another breakdown. She'd been quoted on a certified pre-owned Audi Q7, 3-year-old, and the payment was going to bury her. I asked her one question. Do you actually need the Audi badge, or do you need something that starts every single morning for the next decade? She looked at me like I'd asked a trick question. I pulled up a 2016 MDX for her, 74,000 miles, clean history, priced at $16,800, thousands less than that of 7, and in my experience, far more likely to hit 250,000 miles without drama. She's put 22,000 miles on it since. Total spent on repairs, an oil change schedule, and 1 set of brake pads. That's it. Here's what people don't understand about the MDX. Under the hood is Honda's J35 3.5-liter V6, and that engine is a legend. It's the same family of naturally aspirated V6 Honda has been refining for decades, and it's been documented running past 300,000 miles, with some examples well beyond that, on nothing but regular fluids, no turbo to fail. It makes 290 horsepower, and it does it the boring, reliable way. RepairPal rates the MDX 4.0 out of 5.0 for reliability and ranks it 2nd out of 14 luxury midsize SUVs. Average annual repair cost sits around $571. Compare that to a German 3-row, where a single air suspension strut can cost you more than a year of MDX maintenance. Now I'm going to be straight with you, because a real mechanic doesn't sell you a fairy tale. 2 things to watch. First, the J35 uses a timing belt, not a chain, and it needs to be replaced around every 90,000 miles. That's a $700 to $900 job, and if the seller can't prove it's been done on a higher mileage car, you use that to negotiate. Second, the transmission. The 2014 and 2015 models used a 6-speed that occasionally shudders, and the 2016 and newer cars got a 9-speed automatic that had some early software quirks. Neither is a deal breaker, but on your test drive you want smooth, predictable shifts with no hard clunk between gears. Get the transmission fluid checked. If it's dark and burnt, walk. For pricing, a 2014 to 2016 MDX with under 100,000 miles runs roughly $13,000 to $15,000. The nicer 2017 and newer cars land around $18,000 to $25,000. Either way, you're getting a genuine luxury three-row with a Honda drivetrain underneath for the price of a base model economy car. When you're shopping one, here's my quick checklist. 1. Confirm that timing belt service history in writing. 2. Feel the shifts on a real test drive with some highway merging. 3. Check the third row and cargo area for how hard the family life was. A beat-up interior tells you the maintenance was probably beat up too. 4. Run the VIN for recalls because there were a couple worth confirming were addressed. Do those 4 things and you've got a luxury SUV that'll outlast cars costing twice as much. But if you think the MDX is an overlooked bargain, the next one might be the single most reliable luxury SUV ever put on sale, and people are basically giving them away. Number 2. Lexus RX 350. The Lexus RX 350 is, and I do not say this lightly, one of the cheapest luxury SUVs in the world to keep running. Not cheap to buy, though it's that too. Cheap to own. And the market has never fully caught on to just how good it is. Last year, a retired couple brought me a 2013 RX 350 they'd bought new, 141,000 miles. They wanted to know what expensive stuff was coming up before they handed it down to their granddaughter for college. I put it on the lift, pulled the codes, checked the transmission, inspected the suspension and the undercarriage. You know what I found that needed doing? A set of brake pads and a cabin air filter. The original engine hadn't leaked a drop. I told them the granddaughter would probably still be driving it after she graduated. The husband asked me, almost suspicious, "That's it?" "Yeah, that's it." I get that reaction with these constantly. Here's the engineering that makes it work. The RX 350 runs Toyota's 2 GRFE 3.5-liter V6, and from 2016, the updated 2 GRF KS. Same 3.5 V6 family that powers the Camry, the Highlander, and the Sienna. It's a timing chain engine, not a belt, which means there's no scheduled timing service hanging over your head and no $800 belt job every 90,000 miles like some rivals demand. It's naturally aspirated, so there's no turbo waiting to fail. Owners routinely take these past 250,000 and even 350,000 miles with basic maintenance. One breakdown showed the RX 350 costing under $8,000 to maintain over 10 years, less than half what a BMW X5 will cost you over the same stretch. That's not a small gap. That's the difference between a vacation every year and a monthly payment to your mechanic. Let's talk real numbers. A clean third-generation RX 350, say a 2013 to 2015 with reasonable miles, typically runs $16,000 to $22,000. A comparable year BMW X5 or Mercedes GLE at similar miles might sticker for a little more or less, but the ownership costs live in different universes. Annual maintenance on the RX averages roughly $300 to $500 at a good independent shop, or $500 to $750 if you only ever go to the dealer. The priciest routine visits are the services at 60,000 and 90,000 miles, and the spark plugs near 100,000 miles, because reaching the rear bank means pulling the intake. Budget a few hundred for those, and you're done. 2 honest weak spots, because I'm not here to lie to you. The 2GR develops slow oil leaks over time, usually the timing cover gasket or the little rubber VVT oil lines, and the water pump tends to give up somewhere around 90,000 to 120,000 miles. Neither is catastrophic. Both are known, and both are cheap relative to anything German. And some early 2007 and 2008 cars had cracking dashboards in hot climates. So if you're in the Sun Belt, put your hand on that dash and look for lifting or bubbling. Who should buy the RX 350? Anyone who wants a quiet, plush, genuinely upscale commuter that will simply never leave them stranded. Empty nesters, first-time luxury buyers, parents buying something safe and dependable for a kid heading to college. Who should skip it? If you want sporty handling or serious off-road ability, this isn't it. The RX is a comfort-first crossover, soft and smooth, built for pavement and peace of mind, not back roads and boulders. And if you need 3 real rows, the standard RX only seats 5. But for the mission it's built for, nothing in the luxury world is cheaper to live with. This last one, number 1, is the SUV I'd buy with my own money tomorrow and drive until the wheels fall off, which honestly, they won't. Before I get to it, if this kind of straight talk is saving you from a bad purchase, hit subscribe. I've got more videos coming on the luxury SUVs that are secret money pits versus the ones that actually make sense. All right, number 1, Lexus GX 470. The Lexus GX 470 is a body-on-frame, V8-powered luxury SUV that is, underneath the leather and the badge, a Toyota Land Cruiser. Not like a Land Cruiser. It literally is one. And that is the most important sentence in this entire video. Let me tell you about the customer who changed how I think about these. A contractor in his mid-50s came to me 2 years ago about to buy a used Range Rover. He wanted something that felt substantial, could tow his trailer, handle a job site, and still look sharp pulling into a client's driveway. I asked him if he wanted to own a truck or fund a repair shop, because that's the choice with a used Range Rover. He laughed. I didn't. I walked him out to my own lot and pointed at my personal GX 470, a 2007 with 214,000 miles on it. I bought it years ago, and the list of things I've replaced is almost embarrassing in how short it is. Brakes, tires, fluids, one timing belt, and a suspension component. That's the whole story at over 200,000 miles. He bought a 2008 GX a week later for around $13,500. He texts me photos of it hauling his trailer through the mountains. 0 mechanical failures. His words were, "Why did nobody ever tell me about this thing?" Here's why I'm obsessed with it. The GX 470, built from 2003 to 2009, is based on the Toyota Land Cruiser Prado, a model so tough it's the vehicle of choice in some of the harshest, most remote places on Earth. Under the hood is the 2 UZFE, a 4.7-liter V8 with an iron block. Iron. In an era where everyone went to lightweight aluminum and turbos, Toyota built this engine like an anvil. It makes a modest 235 to 263 horsepower, depending on year. But that was never the point. The point is that this engine, shared with the Land Cruiser, the Tundra, and the Sequoia, routinely runs 300,000 to 400,000 miles on little more than oil changes and a timing belt every 90,000 miles. It's naturally aspirated. No turbo, no direct injection carbon problems, just an overbuilt, understressed V8 that thrives on basic care and honestly tolerates neglect better than almost anything else on the road. And it's not just the engine. The GX shares its A750F 5-speed automatic transmission with the Land Cruiser, the Tacoma, the Tundra, and the 4Runner, one of the most proven automatics Toyota ever built. It's got full-time 4-wheel drive with a real low range and a locking center differential. This is genuine Land Cruiser hardware wearing a Lexus badge and a nicer interior. That's why the off-road and overlanding community caught on years ago and started snapping these up. They figured out that a GX is a Land Cruiser you can actually afford. Now let's talk money, because this is where it gets ridiculous. Early GX 470 models can still be found around $6,000 to $9,000, and clean, well-kept later models, 2007 to 2009, typically run $9,000 to $14,000. Now compare that to what a used Range Rover of the same era costs to own, not buy. A single air suspension failure or electrical gremlin on the Rover can cost you more than a whole clean GX. One breakdown pegged 10-year maintenance on the GX platform around $8,245, cheaper even than the MDX, and a fraction of what a European luxury SUV will bleed out of you. You are buying Land Cruiser reliability at a used Kia price with a Lexus badge on the hood. But I'm going to give you the honest inspection checklist because these are older trucks now and condition is everything. First, the rear suspension. The GX 470 uses a rear air or height control setup that can leak with age. Park it, come back an hour later, and make sure it hasn't sagged. A repair or conversion here is manageable, but you want to know before you buy. Second, and this is the big one, frame rust. If this truck lived somewhere they salt the roads, get underneath it or put it on a lift and inspect the frame carefully. A rusty frame is the one thing that can total an otherwise immortal GX. A southern or western truck with a clean frame is the goal. Third, confirm the timing belt service. At 90,000-mile intervals, you need to know exactly when it was last done. If there's no record, budget for it immediately because the 2UZ is an interference engine and you do not gamble on that belt. Fourth, take it to an empty lot, turn the wheel to full lock, and drive a slow circle both directions. Any binding, clunking, or grinding from the four-wheel drive system, walk away. If it's smooth and quiet, you've found a keeper. Who should buy the GX 470? Anyone who wants a luxury SUV that will genuinely outlive them. People who tow. People who see snow or dirt or mountain roads. Anyone who is sick of watching luxury badges turn into repair bills and wants the one that's built like a tank. Who should skip it? If fuel economy is your top priority, this thing drinks mid-teens around town on premium fuel, and that's just the cost of a V8 truck. If you need nimble city parking, it's a big, tall, upright SUV. And if you want a smooth, car-like crossover ride, the GX rides like the truck it is, planted and tough, not cushy and floaty. But if you want the single most bulletproof luxury SUV your money can buy, this is it, and it's not close. If I had to pick one vehicle from this entire list to own for the next 15 years, I'd buy another GX and not lose a minute of sleep over it. So there it is. 3 luxury SUVs the market forgot, but the mechanics quietly buy for their own families. The Acura MDX, a Honda Vi 6 legend wearing a premium badge for the price of an economy car. The Lexus RX 350, arguably the cheapest luxury SUV in the world to actually own, with a Camry's bulletproof heart and a Lexus's plush ride. And the Lexus GX 470, a genuine Toyota Land Cruiser in a tailored suit, the closest thing to an immortal luxury SUV that exists on the used market today. You now know 3 ways to park something premium in your driveway that'll run to 250,000 miles and beyond while your neighbor's German lease return is back at the dealer for the 3rd time this year. So the next time a salesman tries to steer you toward a shiny, used luxury SUV with a badge you recognize and a repair record you don't, you'll know exactly which 3 to ask for instead. If you want to see the SUVs that have earned actual legendary status in my shop, the ones that simply refuse to die, I've got a whole video on that right here. That's 24 years of watching cars come and go. Hit like if this saved you from a bad decision. Subscribe for more truth the dealerships won't tell you. And remember, take care of the right vehicle, and it'll take care of you. I'll see you in the next one.